You are listening to Deconstruction Podcast, presented by the Architectural Authority magazine.
If we are able to connect, in different levels with our client, first of all, with the geographic place that we are about to work, because every place requires something, tell us something, and we can project our designs based on that, connecting with the client, with the story of the client, with everything around him here, or if it's a commercial, around the brand, around the owners, and go deep and deep and deep. We are able to really be a channel and connect in a different level, and not offer only something aesthetic, but also something that is able to heal the people that are around.
This episode is sponsored by the Stones & More Group, your go-to destination for premium surfaces and a leading wholesale distributor with over 2 decades providing top-quality porcelain, ceramic, slabs, mosaics, panels, and building materials, crafted to transform any space. To learn more, visit our website at mosaics.com and explore our full range of premium products.
This is Deconstruction, a space where we explore the ideas, trends, and stories shaping the world of architecture, design, and construction. From creative visions to business challenges, we dive into everything influencing the industry and how to navigate it. This podcast is produced by the Architectural Authority magazine, a platform committed to supporting creators and giving voice to those who turn visions into realities. Today, we have Jesús Pacheco, founder of an award-winning studio known for conscious interiors and landscaping design. Nicknamed as the Shaman of Design, Jesús blends spirituality with design to create meaningful spaces. He has hosted a segment on Telemundo, authored the book The Art of Landscaping, and gained international recognition following his success at CASACOR Miami. His work invites us to rethink our environments as tools for healing, connection, and conscious living. Welcome, Jesus.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with you today. Thank you.
I'm very blessed that you have the opportunity to stay with me here. And I have so much to ask you, and I want you to really be free here in this space that we have created for people like you that have so much to say and so much to give. So the way that this interview works is that I started with asking you about a little bit of who you are, what do you do, and etc. And then I dive into more questions.
Okay, that's perfect.
So tell me a little bit, who is Jesús Pacheco? How you got to be called the Shaman of Design, and then we started from there.
Yeah, sure. Well, I am an interior designer and landscape designer from Peru. I am 35 years old now, and I started my career when I was 18 in Peru. And my journey had like a roller coaster, ups and downs. And I think one of the most important points in my career was when I came to Miami after living in different countries and different continents in my 20s.
Wow.
I came here when I was 29 to do CASACOR Miami first edition. And this show put me in front to a new reality, because I meet with one designer that changed my life. That was Ines Martins. And she at the time was presenting a new way of design, and she calls harmony of this design,
With
harmony in design, something like that. For me, it was new because I was for more than 10 years working only looking for success and recognition and to be the best in my career and in my area. But with her, I really start questioning why I am designing and for who. And the first answer that came to my mind was, look, you have been very successful professional. You have been recognized in Peru, in Brazil, in different countries, but you was working, and was very hard to realize that, only to satisfy your ego and the ego of your clients. You was working only in the superficial,
on the surface,
in the material
layer
world.
of it,
Exactly. And for me, because I was starting a very, very deep personal process, was like, I don't want to do that.
Exactly.
And
That's for me.
yes, and was a very important point in my life because I stopped to design for 1 year and a half because
Wow.
I needed to understand, the purpose
The
of
purpose,
that.
exactly.
And
Why?
after a very, very deep process that I love to share because I know a lot of people now is going into that.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that the design, it's a tool, a magic tool. And we have a power, a superpower that
Wow.
we can use to transform lives. Because
Mm-hmm.
yes, in one hand, you have the power to create aesthetic places,
Mm-hmm.
beautiful, and that are impressive. But if we first of all, if we work in ourselves and
Mm-hmm.
if we are able to connect, in different levels with our client, first of all, with the geographic place that we are
Uh-huh.
about to work, because every place requires something, tell
Mm-hmm.
us something, and we can project our designs based on that, connecting with the client, with the story of the client,
Mm-hmm.
with everything around him here,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's a commercial, around the brand, around the owners,
Mm-hmm.
and go deep and deep and deep, we are able to really be a channel and
Mm-hmm.
connect in a different level and not offer only something aesthetic,
Mm-hmm.
but also something that is able to heal
Mm-hmm.
the people that are around. And this
Oh
was the
my
first
God.
concept that came when I started this process. I also had a kind of podcast. In this time, this
Uh-huh.
world the doesn't wasn't
It's called
too
like that.
too
Exacto. Now it's
famous.
podcast.
Yes, but was an interview space that I named Design to Heal.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, and it was very nice because I started interview different professionals, architects, designers, artists, also doctors,
Uh-huh.
people that was working and putting his life to heal, to do something deeper and something
Mm-hmm.
with intention and with a purpose. So
Yes.
then started the process
Love it.
and was like 2 3 years. And last year I was I am very into meditation and connection, and I look to connect with the nature, with the mother earth, and to find my balance.
Mm-hmm.
And I am aware I am not perfect, and I am in a process also to discover who I am, and to connect with myself, with my higher self, and to be day by day trying to work with purpose and to be on service.
Mm-hmm.
And one day in a meditation
Beautiful.
that is like called conscious movement, that
Uh-huh.
is like a dance, something like
Oh
that,
yes, I
I
love it.
receive exactly this name that I was receiving before, but I was like, no, this is too much. That the Shaman of Design,
Wow.
and I received that, but I was very clear and very sure that was something like that I had to use for some time, only to break the mind of the people,
Of
and to
course.
and to and to create this
Acceptance.
exactly.
Understanding
Be-
of this is something real.
exactly. And one of the points that one of my voices put in me was like, okay, you are from Peru
Uh-huh.
and you are very connected with your roots there. And
Beautiful.
because one thing that some people don't know about me, that since I was 14, I was very involved in the Catholic Church, and I was missionary, and I went to the mountains, to do the,
So
the mission.
you have that intent
Y-
of connection with spirituality since a young child.
Yes. And I was almost 3 years preparing myself to be a priest. So
Oh,
I had this very deep connection with my spirituality, and that gave me the opportunity to visit these places in the middle of
wow.
the mountains, when you can only go, 3 hours in bus, then in horse, then walking.
Then hiking, wow.
Yes, because and some of these little lands, was so apart, and they didn't receive anyone for 3 5 years. So it was a
Wow.
very very immersive experience, and I know that And
That was the
also,
moment.
yes, and also I am very passionate about the story, the art, the story of art, especially the pre-Hispanic art. When I was in school, when I was in college, also, and then
You
I
connected with
teach
it.
that because I
Yes.
specialize on that because I get fascinated about how deep was the connection of our ancestors
Mm-hmm.
in each area, in different area in their lives with their selves and
Mm-hmm.
with the
The universe,
nature.
exactly, with everything that they see.
Exactly. So and here one of my deepest experience was one of the these shamanic
Uh
ceremonies
huh.
that was a before and
Transform.
after in
Yeah.
my life,
Yeah. For me
transformed
too.
me.
For me too.
Magic. I honestly, some people, ask me about that, and I always say it's only you with you. If resonated,
Correct.
it's for you. It's not. If not, don't
Exactly.
do
Don't
it.
try it. Exactly.
Exactly. But for me, was completely before and after in my life,
An opening of a different
and a
perspective,
healing.
and a removal of many, I think, negative beliefs that blocks you to be who you are. Because in order to speak the way that you are speaking,
Hmm.
is because you know
Hmm.
the way that you explain the story and your journey, and how every step led you to the following one, because it's that's how it is. You start having this understanding of the world and wanted
Yeah.
to connect with something greater than you that was
Yeah.
religion at that moment, and that led you to this hero's path,
Hmm.
the mountains, the discovering yourself. So I always and this is why I interview people from the beginning. So
Hmm.
everybody is a product of their
Of
experiences, right?
course. Yeah.
And then the way that you see the world, Jesus see the world in a perfect way from his experiences, and how he sees everything through the whatever he learned from the family, whatever he learned from the country, all the experiences that you have done in all of those countries, that you know regardless that you have been there for 6 months or 1 year, the culture got into you, the
Absolutely.
people,
Hmm.
the rituals,
Hmm.
the way that people enjoy life. Because one of the things that and you mentioned so many things in your first
So
intervention, like
sorry.
all my questions were there. So the
But we
connection
can
with
go deeper. Don't
see with
worry.
the connection with how we as a designers
Hmm.
can transform lives through a conscious design
Hmm.
is something that I believe most of the people do not understand.
Hmm.
They do stay at the level of the beauty, the superficial matter,
Hmm.
how it looks, and they don't go deeper. And when you don't go deeper into what you just mentioned perfectly, the place,
Hmm.
the story of the geographica, the land,
Hmm.
your client,
Hmm.
your perspective's client,
Hmm.
your perspective, the perspective or the journey of your client. Because whatever you produce needs to now with this approach, which is different, only respond to him,
Hmm.
only respond to him with that connection with that earth at that moment.
Yep.
So it's beautiful because it's unique.
Hmm.
The
Yes.
and it's not only about selecting materials, it's
No.
about something else.
And it's very interesting that because, you know, one way that, for example, I was looking to present myself when I was machinating, how to show
Who you are,
who I
exactly.
am, the new Jesus to the world. One world was sustainability, and the other one was wellness. And at the beginning, because the world was almost
With those
familiarized with
words.
those words, but now, and I am so happy to say that I am finishing my second book that is called Spiritual Design
Oh
and Conscious
wow,
Living,
I
because
want
I
it.
know, and thank you so much. The world is ready, and a lot of people are waiting for this
Mm-hmm.
little perspective that probably are gonna add and provide, more confidence and more guidance in his journey. And
Totally.
one thing that I'm really happy because I realize that is that we all are creators, even if we are not in the line of creativity.
Mm-hmm.
We create our reality. We
All
create
the
our
time.
reality through our every thought, every word, every action, and every
Yes.
feeling that
Yes.
we feel, and we co-create the reality of the world.
I love every single word that you're saying.
Yes,
Come on.
and that is very powerful because
It
for
is.
me it was very healing
It
because
is.
I was like, I don't wanna just be in the architects and designers box. I
Not
wanna
not
help
really.
everyone. And when you realize and you have this power only
Uh-huh.
to be a human and be alive, it's so powerful. But
Transformative.
even when you work creating, whoa, you really can change lives and you really can heal or
Mm-hmm.
help the healing of the people.
Exactly.
And that's a lot. And I am very happy about this book, and I am very happy about the place and where I am today.
I love
And
it.
after all these huge rock concerts, and probably you understand, and probably you are in the middle
Something of this,
of
exactly, in
something
this
of this.
story.
This is part of,
Mm-hmm.
and this is why we came here.
Exactly.
And the thing that you are sitting there doing this podcast, it's because you choose before you get born
Mm-hmm.
that to
This
came
path.
here
Yes.
exactly, and to create this platform. And as me, everyone that is looking
Mm-hmm.
of this are looking of the and are looking this because of a reason and for a reason. So this is just a little light that we are sharing
Mm-hmm.
with you, but we all have this power and other superpowers. And yes,
Exactly.
I am so happy to can share
Oh
that
my God. I
right
do
now.
the work co-creation
Hmm.
comes to me many, many times through my career, because you cannot make an idea a reality without collaborators, right? So
Hmm.
based in my experience, the people that you get, the connections that you create to transform that idea into a reality is our network, and they are the co-creators of our reality. So
Hmm.
us as designers, as a creators of our reality, we need those collaborators, and the quality or the alignment with those collaborators makes the final product every time better.
Yes.
If we are aligned with ourselves, if we know what we came to do here, because understanding our purpose, and I know in my case, I think it have changed. If
Hmm.
it have mutated,
Hmm.
transformed with me. Now, okay, now I want to do this, and now I want to do that, and it's
Welcome.
part of everything, because it's you are learning, and then you are leaving things behind, and then you are growing into different directions that also give back to
Yes.
community. So one of the things that I really love of what you said is that design can heal,
Hmm.
right? So let's go a little bit in deep in
Absolutely.
there, because in one of my previous podcasts I interview another amazing designer that
Hmm.
was working on a sensitive design,
Yes.
a sensorial design. So
Sensorial.
taking the tactile, the sight, the smells, everything can help you create an experience.
Hmm.
So let's go in deep a little bit of how you think through your tools you can make lives better.
I'm gonna share the story how this concept
Hmm.
came to me. I was doing sound healings on the beach,
Oh
and
my
I
God.
was living
Miami
my
Beach.
best hippie life.
Love
And
it, love it.
one a couple of friends that just bought her house in Miami Shores,
Hmm.
they asked me to design the garden. I was, no, I am not ready, because I was very, very serious in my process. And they say like, no, we really believe you are the person. We know you are the person. So we start the process of design.
Hmm.
And the day that I was designing the garden, they are a couple. They was in a ceremony.
Oh, wow.
We didn't know. And I started designing, and I at the time I did with a very deep breath working, with a ceremony in my house, intentionating, being very serious because it was my first project, so I was very,
After the pause.
exactly. So in the process came to me, I love Bach, so I love to design
Uh-huh.
with Bach because I believe the frequencies of the
Uh-huh.
melodies are perfect to guide you in the process.
Wow.
So I start designing, and some shapes of animals came to me, and without judgment I start designing and putting the place, blah, 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 and then stylish a little bit the design. After 1 week, I present the design of this client to these clients, and I start explaining. Look, in the entrance, I put a black snake because came to me. I don't know if it means something to you.
Mhm.
And then this animal
So
and
you
this
were
guardian.
channeling.
Yeah, exactly. And they look at their face and start crying. And for me, it was like, what happened? They say, we had in a ceremony, and in this ceremony especially, these exactly animals came to us and represented something in our process that was very
Wow.
strong, and because they were in a very deep healing moment in the relationship. So everything I put in the design was something special in their journey.
Wow,
So
Jesus.
for me, that was the answer. Of course, we did the garden exactly what like as I
Exactly.
designed, and they are very happy with that. And for me, this was the answer. So this process showed me that, first of all, the design and every space and everything we create have the power to heal us or to make us sick.
Yes.
It's
Both.
not neutral point. Everything generates something in
Energy.
us,
Everything is energy.
even if it's conscious or unconscious.
Mhm.
Everything. So starting in this point, I realize and I say, look, so this is very, very strong. And then another client that was a doctor and was just diagnosed with cancer,
Wow.
she contacted me because I started doing this interview about designing to heal. And she told me, like, you are going to help me to heal. And
Wow.
I understand I am not, a magician to heal anyone, but I can help to support the process.
Of
That
course.
is our job. And after
Wow, how
we
you did it.
designed the house, and a beautiful house in Coral Springs, um, and of course I just did my little part, and she was doing a lot of other stuff, to heal herself. After 6 months, she went to the doctor and she had nothing.
No
She was
way.
totally healed, and she came to me and say, I know you did your part. And for me, that's exactly the point. If we
Mhm.
are aware, if we are very serious in the process, with the intention,
Mhm.
and we really uh, empower ourselves and connect,
Mhm.
and this is a day by day
Yes.
work. We have to do it every
Every day.
moment,
Mhm.
every second. We have to be or work or try to be aligned and to
Mhm.
connect and be present. So if we do that in our work, we really have the power to heal, and we really have the power to support and to
Transform
to
our
to transform
our realities. Yes, we
exactly
have that
without
tool.
judgment. I know the market, have some trends and some parameters, but no, we are who put go far to the trends.
Yes.
It's like
It is your space that
exactly.
you are the person that shall direct where, how, the colors, what, because not every material speaks to everybody.
And every client is
Hmm.
different,
Exactly.
and every client need something different. And sometimes, as when you, for example, and you know that when you do a ceremony,
Hmm.
a big percentage of what you live in the ceremony you cannot explain in words,
No,
because it's
exactly.
something that is not rational. It's not
It only
our
makes sense to you.
exactly. With the design is the same. Some stuff we don't have to understand. We just have to feel it and do it. And
And trust.
and trust, exactly. And another beautiful thing I realize is we are programmed to that, to
Hmm.
focus in the result, in the
Yeah.
final design.
Yes.
But it's not about only that, it's about the entire
The process.
process, and
Exactly.
everything happened on it.
Hmm.
Every step, every meeting, every visit to the store,
Every
every
decision that you make could change everything.
exactly.
Could change the outcome.
And it's a beautiful
Yes.
opportunity to be yourself, to share who you are, to share your truth, and to offer and be on service. For me, it's about that. Be on service
For
is exactly.
I did a little bit of research before because
Mhm.
I was talking you know that. So part of the things that connected with me when I was reading your bio, it's that is that the majority of the designers do not feel that they are doing a service
Mhm.
to, they are not doing anything other than, the actual embellishment of the space. The majority of them, they do not understand the power that they have.
Mhm.
So the way that you just explained, the power that we as a designer have to transform, to affect, to, we are really putting something into somebody else's life that can change their daily activities, relationships with everything, with the light, with the colors, with the smells, with every
Exactly.
single decision that they do. So for you, in your professional development, how
Mhm.
you start a conversation with a client. So how getting connected with Jesus starts. Like, okay, somebody calls you, Jesus, I want your help to do my I'm doing a new project and I want your help. Where do you start?
Mhm. Well, the first thing, and this is another thing, you have to feel it, and you have to filter if this can be something
Mm-hmm.
very very maybe complicated to understand, but sometimes clients are for you and sometimes they
They don't.
don't.
Uh-huh.
And this is something we know, when you are in the market, and you are very in the
Competitive, uh-huh.
content, you take everything. And happened to me that you have to filter it, because a project is like a relationship. It's
It
gonna
is.
be at least 1 year,
Mm-hmm.
at least, probably 2 3 years, probably more. So yes, um this is a first filter that is very easy to catch, because it's clear.
Yeah, you feel it when you have a
Exactly,
connection, when you understand with the
exactly. And then I think 80 89% is a match, because for a reason we
mm-hmm.
we connected. Um, the first step for me is to have a meeting, a personal meeting, if it's possible, if not Zoom, because some of the clients, as Miami, some of the clients are out of the country.
Yes.
But to have this moment to connect with the client, and to have this little talk, to ask some questions, to
Mm-hmm.
understand who they are, why they need you. And
Yeah, their
it's
needs.
important to be to w- this is a key. You have to work in yourself to understand what you want professionally, and to be aware exactly how to filter the type of projects that came to you, because we have a lot of different type of projects. Some of them are developers that only want to design
Put your name on it. Uh-huh.
a white box to sell it. If you are okay with that, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are looking for something deeper, maybe have another professionals, and maybe are not designers, maybe are decorators,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe some stores. So this is the first thing, because if not, maybe in the middle you're gonna feel frustrated. You
Totally.
are gonna feel like you wanna do something more, and maybe the money is good, but you are losing your time and wasting your time, and you know
Not
your process, and maybe that your potential are not gonna be you are not gonna
express exactly.
express it in the
You're
way
not
you are able to. So
exactly.
this is the first thing. And as you are aware of who you are, and sure of what you want to do with your
What you're doing exactly.
superpower.
What your superpower is exactly.
Exactly. You are gonna be able to filter it, and to be more happy your day by day, and with the decision you make, and with how you spend your time.
Sí.
And I think this is very important, because we are ending the era when
Mm-hmm.
you only go for work and to receive a payment. We now are in a position to choose. We now.
We can do that exactly.
Exactly. And day by day, I meet with more people that are aware, are conscious, and are looking for something deeper, are looking for spaces and projects with soul.
Mm-hmm.
So this is maybe 5 years ago
Mm-hmm.
was could be a question, but
Not
have
now. After
market for
COVID,
now?
no, now. Exactly.
Exactly. And for me, I love it because some people that
Totally.
I meet for a long time and we meet again, they are like very, very conscious and
Totally different now. Everybody's
yes,
speaking the same language now.
exactly. And this is amazing. Second, this is a big opportunity
Mm-hmm.
because it's a new market. And as if you work more on yourself and you are more aligned, but this have to be truly and have to be honest and have to be real because
Mm-hmm.
that you can feel it when
Yes.
someone are faking it and are when someone are real.
Yeah.
And you know, I am not your client, but your client, if your client are
See.
looking for someone like that, they are gonna realize that. So you have to work in yourself, and of course this is my perspective, and uh, I think this is the way that you're gonna start, um, enjoying and feeling more happy and more
Fulfill. Yeah.
fulfilled with your day by day with your
Yes.
life, and you can find your purpose in life, and you can live, with this intention that your soul knows and
Yes.
and is screaming to you. So I think this is the I don't know if I came for the
No, no,
side.
no. It's perfect because what I
Uh-huh.
wanted to touch bases now is that in some cases, on the majority of the cases, I think us as a designers, we can go in a
Hmm.
ego route in a
Yes.
ego path, and people mistake design as and the big brands or the big names mistake that they need to put their art in somebody else's life.
Hmm.
And I have learned, and I don't know what's your opinion, but that's what I'm saying
Of
is that
course.
if you are humble
Hmm.
to listen to your clients and you put your ego or your needs aside and you try with the tools with your superpower to create what they need,
Hmm.
they will be so happy
Yeah.
that they will give you, the energy to bring more clients to you
Yeah.
because your superpower is creating spaces for them,
Hmm.
not creating spaces of you,
Yeah.
replicas of your style. So
Exactly.
one of the things that I do believe that it's now making sense that before was not, because you wanted to create a name for you and people say, no, this is Jesus Pacheco. This is, you want people to understand that,
Hmm.
but or be recognized as that. But the superpower that designers have goes deeper. And if you are willing to take the risk of being on service,
Hmm.
your life will be transformed because the result will be so amazing
Yeah.
that you will transform lives, you will heal people, you will
Yes.
receive more than you are giving because your gift, your superpower is being able to transform
Hmm.
their ideas, their needs into something real
Yes.
that can help
Yes, I want to say something that was a big problem for me for a long time.
them.
I am a very big fan of Alejandro Jodorowsky.
Mm-hmm.
That he used to teach that we have to disappear our ego, and I for a long time I tried,
You try.
but I realized something that the ego are a tool. Our
It's
egos
yeah.
are tools
Mm-hmm.
that we can use in our favor. So the thing for me is not to take my ego down. The thing for me is to understand my egos. The thing for me is to be on on control
Mm-hmm.
of my egos,
Mm-hmm.
because my egos did a beautiful work in my life,
Mm-hmm.
and they put me where I am today. So,
Exactly.
and they are
That's
there
a purpose.
exactly. Only I created them to
To
protect me.
protect you. Yes, yes.
It's the
We are
only
reading the same
purpose.
books.
Exactly. So, if I understand that, and I
Yes.
understand that, okay, these are my egos, and sometimes they drive the car, and sometimes I drive the car, and sometimes I can put like a autopilot. Okay,
Let,
go conscious.
Mm-hmm.
about that, and understanding who I am and who are these little
Yeah.
people that are driving with me, and I think can be very powerful, and it's like you are able to use it in your favor. That's
Yes.
it. So yes, when we design, we have to turn off some of them,
Mm-hmm.
but also we have to understand that some of them also are there to take care of
Your
us.
context, exactly. You use the
Exactly.
strength. Yes,
Exactly.
I do agree
Are
with you.
like the
Yep.
airbags,
Yes.
just
Uh-huh.
in case of emergency, they turn on. So yes, um, I, I think it's the same, and this is an example that I had a conversation yesterday with a friend about, for example, to smoke.
Mm-hmm.
For me, this is very interesting because, for example, my dad smokes a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and we help him to read
Mother too.
books, to you know
Quick,
to
uh-huh.
exactly to stop smoking. But after more than 20 years, I realized that it's not possible to stop. It's possible to control it, to
Mm-hmm.
reduce it, and to have the control on that situation. But it's like, it's if you cut it, if you cut it anything like without a process, it's worst because
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna came
And there are reasons.
badly.
If there are
Exact.
reasons why they are doing that, and
Exactly.
that, and the same thing about other sicknesses. That's an addiction, but other sicknesses
Hmm.
are also a reflection of the process of the journey that you are going through.
Or for example, the fever.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading a book 2 weeks ago when they explained that the fever are, we are all aware about the fever. When
Mm-hmm.
we
Feel it, uh-huh.
feel something, take a pill to cut it. But this doctor was explaining that this is a mechanism that our body have to kill the infections, every infection. And
You need to
in
let it
the
happen.
50s, one doctor get a Nobel because of that, because he started healing people with fever. He
Wow.
So it's something, they are tools that ourselves have to do something, but
We have
you
been
kn-
seeing the world differently.
exactly. So and this moment is where exactly when we go to the point that everything is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is good, nothing is bad. Everything happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
If your project was the most amazing one and the client decided to don't continue and you feel
Mm-hmm.
frustrated, it's for a reason.
Yes.
Everything is for a reason. So, if the material you are expecting didn't came, it's for a reason. So it's
Exactly.
just there are just opportunities that are open, and the universe and yourself, your higher self, everything around you, they're just moving the pieces on the chest to give you the opportunity to be yourself
Yes.
and be, more free.
Look, I
Uh-huh.
have a question, and we don't have much time, but I
Hmm.
wanted to talk to you about CASACOR
Yes.
and the Awakening House.
Yes.
I want you to explain me because I was looking at it and I think it's beautiful. But the way that, I wanted to understand the rationale behind the design
Hmm.
so people understand how spiritual design gets transformed into an example because
Yes.
as of now we have been talking about many things but not seeing anything concrete, so I
Yeah.
wanted to take people from the concept to reality too
Exactly.
so they can understand what design is spiritual design looks like.
Yes. This project, the Awakening House, was a proposal for CASACOR.
Mm-hmm.
CASACOR, just in the middle of the pandemic, was a virtual edition.
Wow.
So we were five designers, including BNG, Giselle Sugarman, and Brett
Mm-hmm.
Sugarman, and another ones that were the franchise, or the people from Brazil
Mm-hmm.
put us the rules was to design something with containers,
Okay.
and some of the professionals just designed the interiors, but I wanted to go far, and
Exactly.
I was very into mandalas at this time. I don't know, every time in our life is perfect, so
You let it
I
flow,
was
exactly.
learning about mandalas and the power of sacred geometry, and I wanted to propose something, that
And
from the top was a big mandala that was rotating to the
mm-hmm.
to the right with a purpose, and every element was putting around this
The
configuration
geometry, exactly, uh-huh.
exactly. and I wanted two of the points with water, and the other two with the containers, and every element that we proposed there was supposed to offer you a more conscious and sustainable living. You have your area for meditation, your area to grow your plants, your area to contemplate just a huge Buddha, and a water mirror with water plants. And I love it to propose the contact with the five elements, apply it in the project. And I love circles. I believe in, especially when you are talking about containers that are angles,
Exactly.
and we all,
They
most
balance it
of
out.
us, live in boxes, because it's the way that we live. The circles and the organic shapes add us and provide us this a break in our brain, because remember, in the nature, everything is organic.
Yeah.
So we are filling our brain and our subconscious with angles, and the angles,
Aggressive.
are aggressive. So that's why I propose circles there, and a lot of organic shapes. And you know I love this concept of spiritual design, or design to heal, because you can take a lot of tools. One can be the sustainability, and into sustainability you have a lot of different points that you can take to work with artisans, to find more local products, or maybe some pieces of furniture or art that are made with intention, or with recycled materials, or with organic materials.
Gives an energy, a different energy to the
So
space.
this is a huge pool. Then we have the inside, like the concept,
because it was a house. You needed to design a house. Exactly.
Yes, exactly. So the I love to work with contrast. I love contrast. I love this black space, for example. I believe when you play with the colors and textures, and with the balance, with the perfect symmetry in the spaces, even if it's at first look asymmetry, have
Your eye
balance.
will,
Exactly. So I love to play with that in the project, and that's what we did in this awakening house. And one of the biggest pieces, the central piece, that was a sculpture that was in the ceiling, is from Antoine Rodriguez. He is a very recognized artist that create this piece with some codes that he received in a channel, in a channeling session, sorry. And this was at it's very deep. I really, really recommend you to go to my website to check the project, and then
I was looking
find,
at it. That's what I wanted you to explain
and
it to
check
me.
the work
What
of
a
this guy.
pleasure.
It's amazing, because it's the intention is you are in the center of your house, receiving the sound with the codes. It's just,
of course, exactly the code.
exactly. So it was a very nice project, and was published in a lot of places, and platforms. But yeah, I believe every project, even if it's a small one, is an opportunity. So I wanna end my answer this time to with this message. This life, this present, this moment is an opportunity to
Yes.
be to be yourself without judgment. Just breathe, just find your balance with the technique you find, or the technique that comes to you. Just apply it. Exactly. And you know some people say that the more you give, more you receive.
Yes.
So this is, I think, the best way to see this life and this beautiful reality.
I think it was perfect. The perfect closing. The perfect closing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for this time that you. And I think we need to give our opportunity, us an opportunity to do a couple of them, because I have so many questions.
Whenever you want, I will be more than happy. Thank you so much, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to Deconstruction Podcast. Your 5-star reviews really help us continue what we do. Please rate your listening experience, and let's keep building this beautiful community together. For exclusive access to more design content, visit thearchitecturalauthority.com or download our app from the App Store or Google Play. Until next time, stay creative.